Thank you, listeners, for joining us for Elko Live today here on KELK. We're very pleased. We'll be featuring the director of the Terrace at Ruby View. Matt McCarty is on his way. He is en route, so clear Idaho Street. Just kidding. Matt's going to be just fine. It gives me some time to bring you up to date on a couple of cool things before Matt joins us. For example, the Great Basin Children's Advocacy Center is so excited to announce their ribbon cutting. It's coming up on Monday, November 20th. This is a long time coming for this important center in our community, and 1401 College Avenue is the site, and that will be on Monday, November 20th. They'll be celebrating the opening of this beautiful center and this heartfelt collaboration of which so many agencies and entities have come together. So looking forward to that, something to celebrate. I spoke with Tom Lester yesterday, and they're now taking entries, believe it or not, for the Festival of Trees. And I know that when Matt gets here, that they're a proud partner. The Terrace at Ruby View is of the Festival of Trees because it coincides with the Elko Christmas Bazaar. The Terrace at Ruby View has this great tradition of hosting what used to be the Nurses Bazaar, and now it's in the careful hands of the Terrace at Ruby View, our Elko seniors. The 2023 Elko Christmas Bazaar is set. The show will be December 2nd and 3rd from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday and from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday at the Elko Convention Center. And at this point, they are looking for handmade or crafted item vendors to participate. There is a link online at the elkoseniors.org website so you can get your vendor application and find out about participating at the Terrace at Ruby View. And I know Matt has been serving meals, and this is an important week for the Terrace. Well, all weeks are important and all days, but this week especially ramping up to Veterans Day on Saturday. I think the Terrace has had some very special events that they have been hosting. And don't worry, Matt, I know you are running a little behind, but I'm sure he's listening, and I don't want him to feel bad because I was late. I was 15 minutes late for an important meeting this morning because I was enjoying the company of people and talking to them, and it's all about being part of our community. So you never have to apologize for that because it's important to me that we have these great relationships and conversations that are really meaningful. So believe me, I am not worried about that. And knowing what Matt does, Matt McCarty is the director, he's there helping serve meals and making sure that staff is accommodated so that they can help their very important senior citizens, because the mission statement of the Terrace at Ruby View is to provide nutritious meals, to host health screenings and education opportunities, a catalyst for access, opportunity, health, and independence for older adults. Plus, there's a very important word in the mission statement of the Terrace at Ruby View's mission statement. It is socialization. And that simply means taking time to reach out, to support one another, to say, hey, I would drop everything and be there for you if needed. And that's the work that Matt McCarty and his staff do every single day at the Terrace at Ruby View. So just keep that in mind whether you're trying to plan a Veterans Day parade on the fly, which is happening on Saturday, or you're hosting a radio show, or you're waiting in line at the grocery store. Just think about that, taking a little time and taking a breath and being kind to those around you, because we're all really working hard and we're doing our best so that we can meet the needs of people around us. So the Terrace at Ruby View serves meals Monday through Friday from 11:30 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. Their curbside lunch is from 10:45 to 11:15, and you do need to call ahead for the curbside meal. 775-738-3030. And they are doing those spectacular Meals on Wheels. That's an important service extended by the Terrace at Ruby View, and it is afforded by several participating sponsors and organizations who make it possible. What listeners may not realize is that we have an Elko Senior Activity Programs known as ESAP that was formed as a nonprofit corporation, and that's how we get these nutritious meals and all the other activities. It is an IRS-approved 501c3 tax-exempt charity. So if you're thinking of making contributions, especially this time of year, know that they will find a great home and support any number of senior services in our community. So if you'd like to join the Senior Center, super easy. All you do is fill out a client registration form, and those are available online, and it's for those who are 60 or better. It's easy to remember the Terrace at Ruby View's phone number. It's 775-738-3030 because 30 plus 30 equals 60. So that's one more way to look at that. So I'm just looking here at some of the other items that are offered on the website, which is got a lot of stuff, by the way. Their newsletter comes out every month, and it's just jam-packed with services and activities and all the references and referrals, for example, that you can find, because there are many senior services available that you may not have been aware about through Elko County, for example. So if you go to the Elko County website, elkocountynv.net, you can find assistance there. If you or someone you know or care for is, if they need some help paying utility bills, if they are there are some other circumstances. Maybe they're having trouble buying medicines. There's a complete resource guide just for seniors, and it's online. And it was compiled by the Elko County Public Guardian, Kathy Jones. So that is a really great resource. You can find that online, and it is at the Elko County website. So for just about anything that you or someone you know might need. There's another important reference, too, for anybody who needs services simply by dialing Nevada 211, or you can go online, click on the icon. There's a link at elkoseniors.org, and that will connect you with Department of Health and Human Services. And there are all kinds of services. Take a breath. You're fine, Matt. Get comfy. You're good. I haven't even turned on your microphone yet. So, ooh, nice shirt. I'm loving that. You've got a new shirt with your logo on it. It's bright purple.
It is. It's not one that I wear often. We've had it for a couple of years. And we got it specifically for the Christmas Bazaar, which I look forward to being able to visit with later. And it's not very Christmassy.
No, it's purple.
But the reason that we chose it was so that we could easily find each other in the crowd.
Oh.
And so that the crowd could easily identify us.
Totally makes sense. Yeah. Totally makes sense.
It's like that, bright green that you wear at Disneyland so that you can tell where your kids are.
And then you realize, oh no, everybody else got the same memo.
Yep,
so
exactly.
Super cool. Well, I was literally having fun and just reminding people of all the cool things. I did give a little shout out to the Christmas Bazaar because Tom Lester was on yesterday, and they're super excited to host you guys.
We are so thankful for the ECVA. They do an amazing job always for us, and we're very happy that we get to kind of come in at the tail end of the Festival of Trees. 2 great community events on that same first week. What a way to kind of kick off the December holiday spirit, and we're very happy that the Convention Center is so good to us.
It's all decked out with a lot of trees by the time you guys are moving in, right?
Yep.
So,
and so it's they've got the Conference Center on their end with the Festival of Trees, and then we'll have our side decked out as well. And my understanding is Santa Claus will be present at both events. He'll kind of be going back and forth, and when he leaves one, he'll be at the other, and then he'll go on the other side too.
Wow, aren't we lucky? He has cleared the schedule, so super cool. So moms and dads, Santa will be at both the Elko, the Terrace at Ruby View's Christmas Bazaar, and then at Festival of Trees, which is ramping up to that. Awesome.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Well, I want to make sure too, I mentioned, because I heard you guys were doing some really neat things for Veterans Day this week and leading up to the holiday.
Yeah, so Ben Reed Sr., he is the gentleman that he seems to be all over Elko County, but certainly in Lamoille area. If you've ever driven into Lamoille and seen the flags everywhere, that is the work of Ben Reed and whoever may be helping him. But I think he has 200 3x5 flags. It's amazing to see what he does. But he will be giving a presentation tomorrow on Thursday the 9th for the Senior Center, and it'll be about Veterans Day. And a salute to veterans, and also because the next day, the 10th, is the Marine Corps birthday, he'll also, talk about the Marine Corps a little bit, and just a way to, again, celebrate our veterans.
Mm-hmm. Prop them up. It's been a weird few days, and I think we got through it, Matt, because we've got a parade back on Saturday.
We did. We do have a parade back on Saturday. When I announced that to the Congregate Dining room, they all busted out in applause and started clapping, and it was good to see that. I'm glad that the community was able to pull together and put on this parade. And again, really just show that sometimes there are miscommunications and sometimes these things happen, but being able to pull together as a community is really what makes us who we are. And to be able to say, no, we've got 4 days. We can pull off a parade, by golly, we're going to do this. So
it's happening, yep. And really shout out to, I hope she doesn't mind I say she's a young woman, but she is a young woman. She works at the Stockmans. Her name's Josephine Mahoney. She literally came out of the woodwork and stood up and spoke at the county meeting where it was revealed the parade had been canceled. And suddenly she looked over her shoulder and said, well, if not I, then who?
Yes.
So, and she put that in motion.
Yep, absolutely. And it's wonderful to see that. And I've told the seniors that if they would like to participate in the parade, that let me know. We've got the application that we can get to folks in, or we can start directing them into different organizations that might be able to do something and might be able to have a parade float.
That'll be great. And the weather should be nice if that's encouraging for anyone. So it's supposed to be sunny.
Yep. Sunny. I have told our seniors, I said, dress warmly, because it is, we are getting that winter chill, but it is going to be a nice day, hopefully nice and sunny. And I probably will not be needing too much of a winter coat, but some of our seniors do.
Oh, absolutely. I always layer up. So, well, that is great news, Matt. And observing the Marine Corps birthday is important. I understand the Veterans Gala is sold out, which is fantastic.
Yeah, the Veterans Ball is sold out. There's also a Veterans of Foreign Wars event that evening, and there's an American Legion event that evening. So certainly many other ways to be able to celebrate our veterans as well, but not nearly as public as the parade. And again, it just it's great to see that the community has pulled together and gotten that back on track.
Yeah, well, thanks. And thanks to the Terrace at Ruby View, our senior active lifestyle center, for helping to be the cornerstone of all that too, because seniors don't go around with their hands out. They have certainly contributed to help build this community, and they continue to do so, but they often do it quietly, Matt. So
they do, and they are very proud, and they are very dignified about what they do. And yes, it is not many that have their hand out that say, we need help and give us help. And when they get to that point, oftentimes they need a lot of help because of that pride and because of that dignity. And I think all of us have that to a degree, but it does seem that pride of not wanting to ask help is certainly strongest in our eldest generations. Yeah,
that we all have our thresholds, but you're right. Well, with that in mind, I wanted to make sure that we're talking about what the needs might be this time of year, or what kind of projects you're thinking about, Matt.
Well, we've got a few different organizations that we're working with that we are very happy that they have reached out to us, and we're in the midst of gathering different some of our members that we know are more in need than others, even when they don't ask for it. That's one of the big advantages of Meals on Wheels. In fact, earlier this week, maybe it was late last week, I had submitted a grant response back to the state, and it dealt with who was our driver for the Spring Creek route, because they had given us a $100,000 grant to get a brand new truck for the Spring Creek area. And part of that was also the labor for the driver for that truck for 1 year to get us up on the off the ground and get running and get established. And so they had said, please supply the labor information, which was easy. And so I submitted it, and they came back and they said, you've listed 7 people. You have 7 drivers out there. And so I explained that yes, we do, because we've had some turnover, but also we rotate our drivers to all of our routes every week. We try to. Sometimes it doesn't always happen, but we rotate them through. And the reason we do this is because as humans, we become complacent. We stop seeing the things with fresh eyes. And if we have one person, what we've found is if we have one person delivering to the same houses every week, they start to miss things too. And as we become unhealthy, it's not always an overnight whoa. It's a slow, gradual decline. And if we have the same people seeing the same people every day, they miss those signs sometimes. They miss that suddenly the house that has always been clean is now a little bit more cluttered. and dishes that have always been put away are now stacking up in the sink, and we miss these things. So every week we rotate through specifically so that we can see that, and we can see those differences for the good of our seniors and the health of our seniors. And that also allows us to see who's in need, who's struggling a little bit more than perhaps somebody else. And that gives us that opportunity to reach back out to our partner organizations and say, here's what we think we might be able to use help with.
Well, and people might be surprised to know that there are organizations, agencies, nonprofits that do facilitate that cleaning or assistance. I'm thinking specifically of our neighbors in Humboldt County, and they have the RSVP program there. They were just advertising for what they call a homemaker position, and I know it sounds a little 1950s, but it works, and they pay someone to come in to help seniors with light housekeeping and chores, and that's something that I'm sure if it's not available in Elko County, we could get something like that going here, because it is easy to get behind, especially if you're living alone and you're trying to be independent.
It is, and we do have that here in Elko, actually. We have, in fact, the Senior Center hosts the Elko RSVP coordinator. And so we've not been as successful in getting the homemaker program consistently established. And Fish also had a homemakers program. I think they had to actually give theirs up because of staffing. But it does sound, a little old-fashioned to call it a homemaker. And we found that it's helpful for the seniors on multiple levels. Psychologically, we don't like living in filth. We like to be clean, and sometimes we just don't have that ability to be able to stay on top of it, as you mentioned.
And if your eyesight fails, you don't know that you need to mop the floor.
Exactly. And so psychologically, we have found that people are healthier when they are in a cleaner environment, if they want to be. There are others that are perfectly happy being, pack rats or hoarders or whatever, and that's how they are. But generally, psychologically, we like being in clean areas. And then it also helps, of course, from the physical health, less infestation of rodents and pests and
tripping
other things.
Hazards.
And exactly, tripping hazards, and somebody eating off of something that's maybe not as clean that then gets them sick, and it just kind of spirals on them. So we do try to keep an eye on that as well, and we're happy to partner with RSVP. And we're if you are interested in the program, it's not just in Winnemucca. We do have it here in Elko as well. And if you would like some more information, stop by or call the Senior Center, 775-738-3030, and we can get you in contact with Vicki, our RSVP coordinator.
That's awesome, Matt. Thanks so much. I know that took a kind of a weird turn, but it's important to get that out there. So, yeah.
Excuse me, it did, but it is important to get that out there.
Yeah.
And so I did want to say that we do have those partner organizations that are helping us this holiday season. Nevada Gold Mines has reached out and asked if there were a handful of seniors that might want a turkey dinner. Last year it was amazing. They brought, a standard size laundry basket full of everything that you would need for Thanksgiving and a full 18-pound turkey.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing. And so we were able to get those delivered to the folks that needed them. And they called again this year and they said, we'd like to do that again. Would that be okay? And it was amazing. It's great to know that we have people looking out for our seniors. We did say perhaps this year, maybe not a full 18-pound turkey, maybe a turkey breast, because most of our people live alone and they may not have an oven big enough to cook an 18-pound turkey.
Exactly. So, but that was a thought that counts.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just at the Nevada Gold Mines, their quarterly meeting this morning, and, they funded 28 projects, since the inception of the Community Development Committees since 2021, they've funded 28 projects, injecting $12.2 million into local communities. The Senior Center is right at the top of the list for 2023, Matt, at $50,000.
Yeah, I unfortunately was not able to make it this morning to the meeting, and we are very thankful for Nevada Gold Mines, the $50,000 for our Meals on Wheels garage and our kitchen remodel. The kitchen remodel is almost 100%. We're still waiting on just a couple of punch items because of the delay on getting everything done there and not wanting to have too many projects going at once and too many irons in the fire. That's delayed our garage project. And so our garage project probably won't start until next spring now, just because Nevada winter, northern Nevada winter, that's one of those things that happens. And so Nevada Gold Mines has been really good to us, and we really appreciate that. And we look forward to continuing to partner with them in the future when the appropriate times come. And they've been generous to us, and we appreciate that.
Yep, a lot to look forward to.
We also have Nuts Under a Buck. Last year, they reached out to us, the food truck, the donut truck, and said, hey, we'd like to do a giving tree for the seniors. And so they, in turn, put it out to their Facebook page and their customers, and it was a tremendous response. And so we had a Secret Santa kind of thing where we had seniors fill out a form that we had, and we made it anonymous and then sent it back out to them to say, this senior would like a red winter coat, size medium. Or this senior would like a gift certificate to Machi's, or this senior would like a gift certificate to a movie, something along those lines. And so it's great to see that, again, community engagement. We really appreciate the Dudleys for doing that for Nuts Under a Buck. And then we've also got Accelerated Medical that has reached out to us and has asked specifically for some of our most at-need members, as well as Vitality Unlimited has also reached out. So we're excited for all of those partnerships to be able to take care of our seniors, and it's things we take for granted sometimes, and these seniors often don't take care of themselves the way that they take care of others. So this is a good way to give back to the seniors.
Oh, that's fantastic. We're talking with Matt McCarty, the Executive Director of the Terrace at Ruby View, our senior center, but certainly with an emphasis on active lifestyle, health and nutrition and socialization, and just any number of programs and activities.
We certainly try to. Yes, absolutely. One of the activities is another partnership with the Mybrary. Char Gustafson comes up once a month and does a craft class with us. This year, it's a really cute gnome ornament. And so over the period of about an hour and a half, any adult can come up, but we, obviously have it as our seniors first. And they make this cute little gnome ornament that we'll be doing. And so that's one of the things, the activities that we do. And then, of course, we also have our movies of the week. And we pick a movie, and Thursdays and Fridays we have a matinee, and we show that in our only room that doesn't have windows, so that it's kind of a nice movie theater type experience, and we can get popcorn in there and everything else, so we enjoy that as well. And then, of course, all of the other activities, the bridges and Tai Chi. Yeah, like today we have bridge and Tai Chi and cribbage and mahjong and dominoes and just all kinds of things. If you want to do something and you need a space to do it, then the Senior Center might be able to help you with that.
Well, in fact, the last time we talked, Matt, I think you were about to go into a board of directors meeting. Your board is on it. You guys are looking at capital plans. You're planning for the next 5-10 years. We
are. Yes, that is something that we are looking at. When we got the conditional use permit for the garage, we also asked at that same time if we could cut into the hill a little bit so that we could get additional parking because we're full. We're looking at putting additional parking in the back for the employees. It's not in an area I'd want our members going back into, but that will allow us to park back there to save parking spaces up front. Because the reality is that on some Wednesdays and Thursdays, we are so full, we have people parking in the street. And we're not comfortable with that. That's not what it's intended for, and we don't want somebody to get hurt because that street gets a bit too crowded then. And it's a big wide street, Indian View Heights is, but you never know what happens, and we have a parking lot for a reason. That's where we should be parking, but we are running out of space quickly, and so we are looking ahead. We're looking at what does it look like to remodel? What does it look like to build a new building? Where would we go? What would it look like? What are the impacts to the senior center itself? Because we are on city land and in a county-owned building. So we get a lot of partnership and a lot of support from both the city of Elko and Elko County. That would most likely go away if we went into a fully owned private building on private land. Of course, if we're building, it also means that if we own it privately, then we don't have that that 30 or 40% of prevailing wage that increases the cost of buildings. So there are some trade-offs, and we're in the middle of exploring that to see what that looks like.
Right, and I opened the program too, reminding people that there is you're a nonprofit in of yourself, right? That,
correct.
Yeah, people often mistake that. They don't know that that's the reality. They can donate to you, and there's a tax consideration.
There is, absolutely. And we do have some funding through the county property tax, which is amazing, but that doesn't the county doesn't fund us. And many senior centers across the state are funded in part by the county or the municipal, municipalities that they're in, but we're pretty unique in that. We do get an annual donation from the city of Elko, which is terrific, and they do help us with snow removal, et cetera, and other things like that, with the landscaping to a degree. And then Elko County helps us with building maintenance and other things on that side. They have contributed more than $100,000. Well, I think they've contributed $100,000 for a capital reserve. So if we have a emergency that comes up, then we have a pool to pull from, and so that's extremely generous. But we don't know what happens when that's gone. It's kind of a murky water as to whether or not that would be replenished from the county. But we have run into some instances where donors have said this should be a county process, and don't ask us for funding for the meals, because the county should be taking care of their seniors. And we appreciate that tax that we get from our county residents, but from the county government side, that's just not how our county operates. And we've learned to live and grow that way and seek grants in other manners. But we are nonprofit, and while we're county employees, the senior center pays 100% of that to the county. The county doesn't have an expense for our labor. They have some processing for HR and payroll, et cetera, some costs there. But overall, it's pretty minimal. But 100% of the labor and the benefits gets paid by that nonprofit, which is the Elko Senior Center.
Wow, thanks for the explanation on that, Matt. And you really have to give credit, though, too. Being independent has its price. And I think the founders, in its current state, the Terrace at Ruby View, they wanted to make sure that our Senior and Active Lifestyle Center was as independent as possible. And that way, the decisions in the future is guided by the members.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that we're looking at in going into a new building, of being 100% independent, so that when we need something done, we can do it immediately. And again, Elko County has been amazing. The guys on the buildings and grounds team, they do a terrific job for us. Sometimes, though, we're in that limbo of, do we have a private contractor come out to fix this, or do we have the county do that? Because it is a county-owned building, and if we do something that the county doesn't like, we've wasted that money as a private nonprofit, and we can't get that back. So that's one of those things that we just have to be aware of.
Well, thanks, Matt, for obviously these are great discussions and setting the foundation, if you will, because this terrace, the Terrace at Ruby View, belongs to the community and belongs to pretty much anybody that's 60 or better that wants to participate too. Although your doors are open, I hear of lots. You hosted a CADV event. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, that was great. We had a lot of fun with that, and I'm pleased that the CADV reached out to us and allowed us to have that partnership.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just one example of great collaboration that continues in our community. As we're talking with Matt McCarty here on Elko Live today, I guess we're close to 1 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
And I know, but I want to make sure we have time to talk about all you brought today.
Very quickly,
Please.
Since the CADV event was a bingo event, our bingo for tonight has been postponed a week. So we will have bingo in Spring Creek on the 15th. We will have bingo in Elko the very next night on the 16th. So if you're interested in bingo, please keep an eye on that. And then please don't forget that our Christmas Bazaar is coming up. First weekend in December. First weekend in December, the 2nd and 3rd. Come on out. We have a full lineup of the booths. All of our booths are sold out. It's the largest, what we call is the largest handcrafted Christmas event in our area. Lots of handcrafted goodies, also a lot of sweet treats and freeze-dried items and all kinds of other good stuff. We'll have 4 different food trucks out front, And so we will have something to get that's hot and ready to eat as well.
It's a festive atmosphere. It should help put you in the mood, family friendly, free admission. I do apologize at the beginning of the program. I said vendor applications are available online, but obviously you've already sold out.
We have sold out. However, if the vendors are interested, we are taking a wait list. Sometimes there's always somebody that drops out last minute because of weather or something else. But then also, as soon as the event is over, we go around to our existing vendors, our current vendors, ask them if they would like to come back. If they pay a deposit, great. If they don't, then we let them know the first people that come in to get that deposit in, we don't hold the booths because it's so popular. So if somebody's out there is interested, have them give us a call.
All right, Matt. As always, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for literally taking the time to accommodate our seniors and to make that socialization aspect of their visit to the center. That's really at the top of the list. So
absolutely, it is important, and I'm so pleased to be able to do that. It's very much a joyous part of my job.
Matt McCarty is director of the Terrace at Ruby View, our active senior and active lifestyle center located at 1795 Ruby View Drive, 775-738-3030. You can also find all this information and more online at elcoseniors.org. And remember, if you don't have a ride, you do have a ride. You have Get My Ride through Elko County.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
Give Get My Ride a call, and they'll pick you up door to door.
Thanks so much, Lori. Happy Veterans Day and happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there.